gentlemen, welcome to the Onward VR Master League Week 4 of Season 10. I am your master, Noman, with a 4 up there in the top left of the screen. I am joined by my man in the top right, Sleepy. How you doing, Sleepy?
I'm doing well, Noman. Thank you so much for having me. Saturday night? No, it's Friday. It's Friday Night Fights.
Yeah, no one knows what day it is. It's the coronavirus pandemic. We're all locked inside. No fault of your own to not know what day it is, but I know what day it is, because it's the day the Pandamonium and Riot go at it for the first time here in Season 10. Pandamonium, a newer team, formed actually this season, the sort of the help of the Mayhem team, top tier team. They've been around for a couple of seasons now, actually a rebrand of an old team as well. And this is sort of their sister team, their little, their junior varsity, if you want to go with that nomenclature. And
Sure.
Riot, of course, a storied team. I mean, a team that's been around for a long time. Just looking at their stats here, and they played Bazaar 47 times. I mean, it's just one map since Season 5. And if they've been able to play a map 50 times, you know they've been in the league for quite some time. So what are your thoughts on this matchup before we dive in?
Well, so if I were to lean to my kind of instincts, I would say that I would give Riot the upper hand, right? Because they have the experience. They have a lot of seasoned players who have been around, whether on this team or other teams, for a while. Now, they do have some newer members in there, or some that didn't come from other teams previously. Excuse me there. But then you have Pandamonium, and unfortunately for me, I don't recognize a lot of these guys. I've seen a lot of them in the chat. I'm sorry, folks. Give me just one moment here. I seem to have a
I'll take over for Sleepy there on that. Yeah, it is definitely a new team. They've got folks from the Onward Rookie Boot Camp who have come in the last season, and they played in the Onward Rookie Boot Camp. I recognize some of those names.
Yeah.
But they're not, they're not veterans. But I think that in some cases has a good advantage, right? You think about it in a way where you play against a veteran team, and their biggest weakness is predictability, right? You've seen them, you know them. They play Bazaar 50 times. It can be a downside, and newer teams will have new strategies, new positions. They can be pretty difficult to unseat. And Pandamonium's been doing really, really well this season. For a bronze tier team coming in new, they put up some really good fights, and I'm excited to see what that has in store for us. Well, before the matchup starts, we have to get our bans and our map picks in, and time is running out because I guys are starting to see. So, the ban on Pandamonium side, banning.
That is right.
On the away side, Riot bans. No peak thoughts.
Well, again, with Pandamonium being a bit of a newer team, it's hard for me to judge their bans. I would assume that they are feeling weak on Tanker, or they're looking at stats and see that Riot is fairly strong on it. Snow Peak, I think they're just worried because with Pandamonium being a Mayhem brethren team, if you will, that they might be pretty good on it, because Mayhem is quite good on Snow Peak. So one can assume that their little brother team, quote unquote, and I'm sure they'll chew me up for this after the cast, but I would assume that they would have some pretty strong plays for it as well, because I'm sure Mayhem's going to be trying to help them get their footing here before kind of cutting them loose to do their own thing, similar to what we saw with you with Blaze and Inferno a few seasons back, when Inferno kind of was kindling to stay on point with the fire jokes.
Yeah, exactly. We had Ember as our sister team, still do, but they have broken off. I mean, they have their own Discord. We got, I think, after that wild card match of last season where we went head to head with them for that final spot in the postseason, I think they decided, you know what, let's have our own little cave. And hey, more power to you to plan and get ready for these kinds of things. But it's a great example, because it's a team that we started as an overflow team technically.
Yeah.
It was not, we just didn't have enough player slots to field all the people that wanted to play with us. So we spun off a new team, mostly East Coast folks, and they took them a couple of seasons, but they practiced, they played, they scrimmed a lot with us. We taught them, not everything we knew, but a good bit of it, and they just took it and ran with it. and now they're definitely, you know, a team to be reckoned with. And I think Pandamonium is gunning for that same, you know, that same end result, is try to learn from these top tier teams, learn from the captains and the veterans of the league, and then evolve into your own beast and become, you know, something greater. And it's always exciting to watch, you know, teams do this, to come up. Everybody loves an underdog story, and I think they'll have a chance to prove that here. And you know what's interesting? I mean, Riot has been around for some time, and they've been in the league for as long as I've been in the league at the very least. But the roster has shifted very, very much. I mean, it is very few. I don't think there's actually any original members of Riot on that team anymore. It's now captained by Xandria. You know, Dr. Sean of Animal House and
Five Horsemen
fame is on that squad. And there's a couple of new folks. You know, Game Wizard, I believe, is also on there. He's house as well. So, you know, it's kind of a mashup of different teams, and they've gone through a lot of roster changes, and that can work against them as well, right? Pandemonium is new, but they've got their roster. They've, you know, been playing with the same 6-7 people for the duration of the league, and if Riot's not quite up to snuff and not connected, it could be a weak point.
For sure. Well, that's what we think about the teams. Now let's cover the first map here, because we have everyone in the lobby. They're bound to be starting any moment, so let's let the folks at home know what we have for map number 1. What is map number 1?
Yeah, I've already dropped it there on the scoreboard. We just haven't had a chance to talk about it. It is Subway that is going to be the first map pick. It is Pandemonium's pick, as they are on the Marsoc side. That is information I've got so far. So yeah, Subway, a very interesting map, a very popular map as of, you know, sort of late season 9 and most of season 10. A map I think we're seeing a lot of people play a lot more often. It's such a technical map, right? It requires so much rotation and communication and equipment usage. I mean, the amount of C4 that we see used on this map, I think, just blows any other map out of the water in terms of how often we see it utilized and how effectively it's utilized.
You gotta go watch that back alley. No, he's watching the back alley. You gotta go watch up front.
But
we need like 3
you can
people
see
in this
exactly
area,
how
and
these
then,
teams navigate this map as the first round kicks off of map 1.
What are you going this way for? No, I'm confused.
Thank you guys for tuning in and hanging out with us. I'm so excited for this.
Yeah, I'm ready for this to kick off. We can see from the overhead map here that the team has split off into a little bit of a 2-2-1 play. You got the one man looking to prod that north alleyway. Meanwhile, 2 teams of 2 poking up through the mid and south.
Yeah, we've got Kesney here with the shield. Android backing him up. Reaper might peek this corner and give himself away. No, Kesney shows his back to Reaper, but it's not quite enough of the timing. Now Reaper might get bold here. Android, he's got to check this alleyway. Oh, there it is. Reaper finds the pick onto Android. Kesney now aware, heard the rotation. Looking for Reaper. The shots are ringing out. Forgot prep there. Is he
need help in the back alley now.
No, you don't. No.
Call outs for help coming in from Reaper. The knife! The knife comes out!
One friendly on top side, one enemy down.
Fantastic play there by Kesney. Had a Reaper wasted all of his ammo, had to go for the reload. Kesney pops that knife. And a really nice play there to knock the first member of the offense out, as well as answer from the defense to knock one out as well. And now the battle, I think, could be over here by Bean as White Fang and Reinhardt their way up the back steps here.
Yeah, I've been following D Baggins over on the other side, on the north side there, but he's just moving too slow. I haven't had the opportunity to say anything because I was just waiting for something to happen, but it doesn't appear that that's going to happen anytime soon. So Kesney is my new man to watch here with the shield. He's still kind of at a stalemate here as he attempts to start prodding at Xandria. Yeah, Kesney making the call for an attack. He and Xandria will get into it now. He's on the corner. Here comes Xandria with the toss. A little too hard. It's not going to have any effect. Kesney's free to push the corner.
Reinhardt does manage to get the backside of Sweet Bean Jelly. And now things are opening up quite a bit. Pandamonium looking so strong here in this first round of Subway. And I felt a little disconnected. Dr. Sean managed to pick up D-Baggins in the north, and that's going to clean things up on the northern side, so they'll be able to refocus on Kesney's push.
Yeah, I tell you what, man, Kesney's got an excellent microphone because that thing is loud. Smokes out on the corner here.
Pull the smokes out. Xandria with a nice pickup onto the shield. Gonna get that alleyway cleaned up, and it's just gonna be left the White Fang and Reinhardt here in the west. And they haven't, I mean, they have, I'm gonna say they haven't been ID'd, but Xandria.
They have.
Yeah, there it is. That's just gonna leave White Fang all by himself. We'll jump into his view here as we take a look how he tries to bring this 1v3 back. He's got 3 minutes, plenty of time, but it's a challenging objective to do, like the sort of poke and hope, you know, the guerrilla warfare tactics. Just because all the defenders are usually so close to each other, and there it is, Andrea with the shield.
One in the back alley.
Gonna identify White Fang, and now he's gonna have to
You
shield.
stole my man's shield. That's not very nice. I did steal your man's shield.
Oh, and a nice trade there will come out. Gonna go the way of the defense as Riot clean things. It was looking so good for Pandamonium there.
Yeah, it was. I mean, a few kills traded out in the first part of the round. Then Pandamonium started to take control again. Ultimately, though, Riot able to rotate back, tighten up the defense as people were taken out, and they solidified. I mean, they still had 3 members up there at the end. That trade was Andrea, of course, leaving them with only 2. But overall, a good way to kind of turn it around there at about the midway point for Riot.
It was a really nice play. I feel like maybe a little bit more smoke on the objective, keeping the defense rotating. So they basically got set up, you know, in their various alleyways. They had their comms open, were communicating really well, and there just wasn't enough confusion. There wasn't enough action happening to keep the defense sort of turning constantly. So they always laser focused on whichever approach, you know, was in their area. So a good attempt by Pandamonium, but in the end, Riot able to take it away from them and see what happens as they switch sides. Riot goes on the offensive, and a shout out to our good caster buddy Xandria there with his 3 kills for the team.
Yeah, put in work there in that first round for sure. And he's you know, Xandria being a newer member of the casting squad, he's only been around with us for about a season and a half, I guess, because I think he came on last season, right? Or maybe even 2 seasons ago, but was a little taken away with other responsibilities for a while, so he had to step away for a bit. But anyways, enough about that.
Hey, stay calm.
It's back to game.
Round 2.
Get your positions. Let's pull this out.
Round 2 is in. And now,
Hey, thank you for casting us. We appreciate
welcome,
it.
Android. You are welcome. Some love for the casting team. We love to see it. We do appreciate it. But hey, as long as you guys bring us good Onward action, you know, we all win. No, there's no losers in this equation.
Truth.
We're seeing the same 2-2-1 split, but this
Yeah,
time
just-
it's focused a little more north and center. I didn't see anybody heading south. They're going to be looking for...
Ooh, Xandria gonna find the rounds of D-Baggins, and immediately Sweet Bean Jelly's gonna be like, no, not for me, maybe. He's gonna pull back off the corner. D-Baggins got a lot more aggressive there in the north than we saw from Riot last time, and that probably for good reason. I mean, if they took as long as the guys from as D-Baggins actually did to get up these stairs in the last round, we'd be waiting a while for that contact. Reefer Madness is gonna find Kesney. White Fang will return with a refrag onto Hordini. It's already a 3v4 Pandamonium, looking good so far in the balance. To take this round back and put it back to a 1v1, or a 1-2-1, I should say.
Yeah, they've got the advantage again. It's a 4v3. We're able to get in nice little positions. I mean, that last pick by White Fang was such an odd position, and it's so unexpected to see an offensive member come you know, out from where the objective would normally be. I was surprised to see Hordini not, you know, push out towards the actual objective room, but I think either way, White Fang would have ID'd and picked him off. So good play there by the defense. Now, the offense has slowed up quite a bit, and take a look at their approach. They've got the 2 on the west, 1 in the far east coming up the that catwalk stairwell there. Fang maybe ready for him.
That'd be Sweet Bean Jelly. It'll all depend. I'm kind of right over Sweet Bean's shoulder, and if he manages his speed and noise well, he could get the drop on White Fang, or at least get past him. Some coordination from someone there in that northern alley would really help to keep the attention off of him when he pops out of this overpass or turnstiles exit.
Looks like Reaper is going to be the one manning that position, but he's gonna have to be careful. That is a very difficult spot to notice a defender in.
Yeah, it really is. But he does have the shield, thankfully. But Sweet Bean gonna run through to the corner, and he's not gonna realize White Fang's there. Will give the information over to Reaper. Should be able to capitalize on this. The grenade comes out, but that's not good. The shield's gonna fall out in the street. He's almost picked up. Reaper now free to chuck the frag, and there it is. It doesn't have the roll there. It does.
It was indeed, and a nice little grenade toss by Reaper will confirm he's only down.
He ran back the opposite direction. He's
Making
coming
the
back
call out.
this way.
It is a
Towards the B.
4.
He's still good.
There it is. The confirmed shot will finally land, and Reaper.
If you have to get a little closer, Reaper, it's fine.
Well, you don't know who's down this corridor. You know, you gotta be.
No, I get it. True.
Extra caution. We'll replay there that grenade toss by Reaper. I mean, you know, could have gone either way. They're dropping the shield out into the defender's line of sight. I mean, they are playing in VR, so it can be a little difficult to manage all the objects you're supposed to hold in your hand. And, you know, when you go for something on your chest, sometimes things will slip out and drop.
Well, in Reaper's defense there on that corner, I do feel like that was just more of a bugged physics there for a second, where it just kind of jumped around and fell over. I don't think he necessarily mismanaged it, but he might have also just missed the grip. You know how the shield players like to unpin and kind of regrip all in the same motion nowadays with grenades. But maybe he just missed that grip point as it kind of fell backwards towards him and just toppled out the street. Anyways, Reaper now approaching the objective courtyard here, and I believe Android Goat's gonna have seen the shield push. I didn't hear a call, but I also know there's C4 just inside this archway. If they come through, Reaper is totally toasted. Here he is. He's at the archway, but he's not come through. Ooh, he's got a shot off. I heard Android Goat getting hit.
Baggins Dr. Sean, that's 1 out. Now it's just Reaper. He's gonna have to deal with 3. I don't think you can stop him with the Riot shield, even if you wanted to. He is under some serious pressure.
You really got to find the right. You can't get the right angle because they have this trifecta of angles here. That if he tries to defend from one, he kind of turns his body open into another defender. So he's really got to be careful with how he, approaches it with his shield and his body angle. He's smart here to look back on his teammate and find a different weapon, but he's got to pick it up quickly because if the defensive team picks up on this and uses some momentum to go after him, that could have been fatal for him, but he does manage to get away. He's got a smoke now. He's going to try and pop or hold. No, he's going to drop it behind him instead. There it is, out into the court. Is he going to be able to find Android? No, Android will find cover instead. They're just back and forth trading, and D-Baggins comes in from the side, manages to find the pick. Pandamonium even things out with a 1-1 tie here on Subway.
Very nice there. Good attempt. Oh, my apology. This is the problem. People actually. Now, Sleepy, hold down the fort for just one moment here. My apologies, folks.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So another great round there on both sides. We kind of saw a similar pattern, though. We saw Pandamonium really kind of coming out a little bit weaker. They took a couple of early losses. Riot with a couple of early picks there. Then about mid-round, the tempo changed again. Pandemonium rotates back onto the objective off of some of their weaker outlier satellite positions, and that's when things start to swing back their way again. They got everyone kind of approached into a one singular spot. And then, things just ran out. You've got D-Baggins, White Fang, both with 3 kills on the side of Pandemonium. And then on the side of Riot, you've got Reefer Madness and Xandria carrying that weight as well. But the teams are working pretty well together. I'm seeing very slightly disjointedness in their plays, but overall, I'd say for either the team makeup or the age of the team, I'd say it's pretty acceptable. The kind of the margin of error in that execution. But otherwise, I want to just say thanks to everyone for tuning in this evening. We do appreciate you guys and gals stopping by. If you're wondering what this is Onward VR. It is a first-person 5v5 milsim tactical shooter. It does require the use of pretty much your entire body, whether it's tracked or not. But yeah, so everything you see our players doing, they're actually having to do in the real world, in real time, squatting, getting down on the ground, reloading, grabbing everything that they have to grab, throw, and so on. All of that is done in real time in the real world in order to translate into the game. So you don't really realize how intense and immersive a game experience can be until you get into VR and those rounds start coming at you and bouncing off that cover next to you, and your vision goes narrow. But we are into our next round. It'll be round 3. Pandamonium now on the offense. White Fang and Kesne pushing their way through turnstiles. They've made it up into center. Gonna push their way down slowly. They're not fools. They don't want to rush in, creating too much noise. They had the opportunity to get the ground that they did. Now they're gonna pull things back, and good for them, because as you can see, Xandria just down the hallway with your X-ray vision that we're blessed with here on the spectator side. You can see Xandria waiting down the hallway. I can only assume there to be C4 somewhere in this hall as well, looking to take out some of these attackers. Kesne and White Fang gonna split up, take each side of the hall as they prep to attack from the top.
Yeah, apologies for that, folks. Yeah, people show up at your door right when you don't want them to. So, I am back. The camera's on. I only missed 30 seconds, but luckily everyone is alive. I get a lot of those overlay messages. My apologies. But I didn't forget about you. I shooed them away just so we could get ourselves into the action now. White Fang and Kesne making their push here. It's gonna work out really well.
Oh, here comes Kesne.
Oh, that actually did kind of work out well, as Xandria had the
That
the lit
sucks.
Molotov on his body, so downing him released that Molotov, and one of the members of Pandamonium is down and out. That is 2 actually removed.
Is it funny? Is it funny that White Fang is sitting next to a customer assistance intercom button after watching his friend burn to death in the subway turnstiles?
I don't think that they are prepared for that kind of emergency.
Hello, how can we assist you today?
Yeah, my friend just burned to death in your turnstiles. I need help.
Yeah, unfortunately, not the kind of thing most of those organizations are ready for.
No. I don't think either one of our players were ready for that. Xandria for Kesne to come through and get that kill on him when he was anticipating White Fang's position. And then, of course, Kesne for obviously burning to death from the dropped Molotov.
Android will pick up 3B on a range rotation. Not sure why he was trying to get down that sub-basement. Not really an integral part of the defense. I mean, obviously, the offense would have to come up and out those stairwells. Just watching the stairwells should be enough, but either way, that mistake will cost him his life. His team of players, things even out a little bit here.
Yeah, D-Baggins has positioned himself at the north turnstiles. He was returning fire onto, what was that over there? Reefer, I think that's, no, sorry, Hordini, who was kind of returning fire on the Android Goat after his pick onto Sweet Bean. Oh, yeah, he saw something there. Looked like he might have saw a rifle, the rifle barrel come out of the end of the subway tunnel there. He puts a bit more suppressive fire on that to keep Hordini down. Otherwise, no real movement. I think most of the movement coming from the guys up on the catwalk. You can see there White Fang about to find Reaper Madness, and he does get the pick there. There's the double tap. And now Riot's just down to their last 2. Does Pandamonium have 2 minutes left on the clock? A lot of 2s right now.
Yeah, there is still a res available for the Pandamonium side, but a difficult one to get as he does have to rotate all the way back up to the north turns valves. He is safe to do so as Riot just has the 2 tucked in here, and this is not the best position for them. I mean, you can just come up on this side here and cap easily behind this map, but it's not going to matter. Android will find one. Is he going to be ready for Houdini, who's tucked in down low there? Looks like Android opted to rotate out. Probably the safest bet.
If I were a White Fang, I would totally be going for that sneak approach cap right now, because Houdini has no line of sight on it. He'd have to pop out, so at the worst, you know, you'd be having him expose himself to the objective in order to, you know, get the kill. And it looks like White Fang might be trying to make that sneak approach. They should have his location. They should know where he is.
Gotta be careful. Android is looking for White Fang as if he's as if he's an enemy.
He should be able to identify him though. He just pulled his tablet, so I don't know why he would shoot him.
He's got him ID'd. 53 seconds left, and now not really a great line to approach here. I suppose if they stay low coming up this ramp, they can really just walk up and just doesn't matter. My analysis is not important because Android Goat will find the pick, and Pandamonium goes up for the first time here in the series 2-1.
Yeah, pretty excellent execution there from Pandamonium. I think they're starting to warm up a bit and feel each other out. They're a bit more in sync this time around than they were on their first Marsoc round. Riot unable to kind of rotate that defense back to an effective position. A few confusing rotations there, as you mentioned in the round, but overall, I mean, I guess I think Pandemonium just brought the better play there. I didn't really see anything spectacular for any reason or another that would have caused the swing or the shift. I think Pandemonium just brought a better plan to the table.
Does appear to be the case that I think they're getting into that, you know, that rhythm, right? They played a few games. They're starting to understand how to work together as a team, and it's something to show out there. I am to bring them out of the jaws.
Defeat is not a word I understand, and what is that?
I don't know. I've never heard of it.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe someone in the chat can alleviate us as to what is defeat. And give us the Google defined definition. Defeat. No,
yeah,
it's terrible.
Please do. Please let us know.
Education. Knowing it's half the battle. I think they said on like Power Rangers or G.I. Joe or something.
It's gotta
right?
be Power Rangers. And that just sounds right. Sounds so accurate when you say Power Rangers. I'm like, yes, that's exactly the type of life lessons I learned. Watching those guys, watching those 5 guys in costumes, just like we're doing right now. 2 sets of 5 guys in costumes.
I want you to recall there were 2 females on the original, the OG team.
Yes, yeah. I think there were females in almost every version. I wasn't trying to.
Well, there was. Yeah. Sounds like.
Wow, Sleepy on the attack. Critical hit.
I joined Riot for this
effective.
round. Ladies and gentlemen, Noman will be blocking me after this show. Don't expect any more casts from Sleepy and Noman because they're over now.
The action is underway though, as Pandemonium is now on the defense. We're just taking a look at the overhead map as the setup here. Hard to see. There's no verticality indicators, but seeing a 2-1-2 split on the offensive side is something we've been seeing Riot a little bit. I suppose the 3 in the West still haven't split up yet, but potentially they could see that. They could see that split.
Hold it.
Esme about to be confirmed by the grenade there. Sweet Bean tosses it out. Oh, and the C4! The heads-up play, the call-out before Kesney was down. Or finished, I apologize. He made the call out to his team to blow the C4, and Sweet Bean is so sweet anymore. That C4 knocks him down. It's going to force a rotation from at least one of the offensive members if they want the res, but kind of see them stacked here on this west wall, so very unlikely that they're going to rotate all the way back and try to get that res. Got the shield out. They've made it out. The quick pass doesn't show any C4 in the area. Safe to approach for now. They're gonna have to deal with Reinhardt here pretty soon if they make a little too much noise. The rest of the coverage, honestly, is a little weak for this objective. We've seen it on both sides. Oh, there was a C4. Reinhardt will find the down onto Reaper, but a nice little bit of protection there from Hordini. Keeps that from being a confirm, and that should be a res.
Yeah, nice smoke there. Good lay. Should be a quick res up onto Hordini. Oh no, Reaper Madness, and there it is. Comes out quick, clean, and executed now. The Sweet Bean Jelly res will definitely not happen. He's just in a terrible position for it. The other team is basically on top of the objective, just across the map. Here comes a frag, maybe flash. No, from D Baggins. He's going to approach, but back off, actually. I think he's scared that he can't see anyone at the entrance. He doesn't want to be the one to break through the smoke first.
It's really the only one with good objective coverage so far. The other two, the White Fang looks like he's rotating into a position that could be a little bit safer, but if D Baggins goes down, this could be really dangerous.
Cook.
The Cook nade comes out. D Baggins
Nine.
is
That's
out.
a cap attempt there. Android Goat's upstairs dealing with Sweet Bean. This is their opening.
One north stair. You can go to camp.
Looking to stack three. There it is, the call out from Reaper. Dr. Sean manages to find the pick onto Android on the stairs.
Come up and cap.
Nice little play there. White Fang does manage to grab Dr. Sean on the backside of the shield, but he's the last defender, and he's going to have to push up, try to stop the cap, but Hordini will knock him out of the running. Secure that round for Riot.
I'm confused. Why didn't they go for the cap?
Well, I think they were spotting out the members of the defense there on the north stairwell. I think they were assuming there was going to be rotations coming in to try to deal with them, which is a pretty safe assumption when you're talking about,
Yeah.
really any cap attempt. I mean, the defense is going to crash.
Right. I mean, you can expect that, but at the same time, you had 3 people at the objective. It's very unlikely if you would have, not placed them right on top of each other trying to cap, that someone could have gotten that cap off before the defense, because they had about a good 15-second window where none of the defense could actually see them. Then they managed to pick the one guy coming down off of Catwalk, which is a clean pick, fine. Even though he was probably the furthest away from the objective at the time. And then the other guy just kind of really gave them no choice by the end of it. So yeah, I think I personally would have just risked it for the biscuit, because this could have been a Riot sitting on a 3-2 lead here. But either way, they secure their point. They're now on defense, still kind of put it into a 3-2 lead. And it's and we move objectives, so it looks like it might have even went downstairs, which is going to definitely help Riot out in this situation.
Yeah, it is the sub-basement or the sub-track objective. Riot on the defense for this one. I mean, of course you always want the cap, but some teams, want to play it safe, get the point if they can. Right, they're holding strong.
And we're into round 5.
Indeed.
As round. Ooh, goodness. Days, words. What is anything anymore, Noman?
Yeah, absolutely. That is my feeling exactly. Folks visiting my house really rattled me. I'm trying to get a handle on my assets here. You just.
Yeah, you were in a groove, and then they screwed it up.
That's what it is. You get yourself into the mindset, and it throws you off so bad. I mean, a great conversation about momentum we could have based off of that, right? I was already in the casting groove, and then you gotta.
Little did did you guys at home know that casters also develop momentum during a
exactly.
cast, and when
Once
you
we get
kill
on a
that,
roll, oh, it is good.
basically
it just
kill
feels good.
us. Yeah. But when you kill it, it's like killing us.
Well, you know,
Our
while we
souls
wait
die
for the
with
teams to get set up, I'm just gonna be candid here on non-camera. My picture will be candid with you. You know, it's like you schedule something to happen and you give them hours, and then they show up at the only hour that was not acceptable. Isn't that just the way life is these days? You literally had all day to do the thing I asked you to do. Ah. Good times, good times. The offense getting set up, 2 in the north, 3 heading down into that southwest corridor. Still no action as most of Riot, in fact, if not all of Riot, I think aside from 1, all tucked in on the objective. And you know what's odd here is we're not seeing anybody going for that basement tunnel approach. The first contact is going to be here in the south stairwell, and it's going to be Andrea. There he is. There's our caster buddy, knocking Android Goat out of the running. Firm will come out, and that's gonna put D-Baggins into a bit of a pickle here. Rotation coming through from Reinhardt. I mean, he's already made his way out into the middle here. He could go help D-Baggins out of his situation, and it looks like that's exactly what's happening. He's communicating with D-Baggins right now, trying to get a line onto Xandria. Still getting a little bit of intel. Looks like he's still trying to clear it. Running all around. We'll see if he's able to make it. Meanwhile, the 2 in the north, like Kesney and Whitefang, finally make it onto the main platform.
All right, here we go. Reinhardt and Xandria. Reinhardt is going to get the look first. He's finding the shots.
I got him.
And Xandria is down. That's a clear midsection for Pandamonium. Ooh, but the C4 comes out, almost able to take down D-Baggins. I almost called him B-Daggins.
I mean, what a great play there. Just overall, I mean, think about what happened there, right? 2 coming down the south stairs. He had 1 in the middle. 1 gets downed, and instead of trying to peek and win the gunfight or throw a smoke or charge through it, he had his teammate rotate. He gave him the intel he needed, had him push through and find another angle on it. And that's the kind of teamwork that you need to be successful. It's so, you know, heartening to see a team like Pandamonium, so new, really embracing those tactics and really finding their rhythm like that. It's something you don't even see from top-tier teams. While I'm over here prattling off Reefer and just find the backside of 1. Whitefang manages to escape with his life, but for how long?
Whitefang spotted now. Yeah, not long at all. Reinhardt able to pick up the kill, and that's his second for the round. They need to go ahead and finish it off, and looks like Reinhardt's definitely not going to waste that time there.
Machine down in the north.
Pandemonium now set to breach the stairs, but are they going to have enough utility left to do so? Looks like Whitefang might pick up the shield here. It'll be helpful in at least allowing him to get a peek downstairs, but it may not be what stops him, you know, what takes him all the way to the goal, if you will. It's a 3v3, 2 minutes left, so, you know, Pandemonium really starting to get towards that pressure point for time. Not exclusive, you know, the pressure's not exclusively on yet. The heartbeat's not racing to ridiculous rates at this point. But yeah, you really got to start thinking about your execution at this point. I can see Whitefang still has 2 smokes on him, so they've at least got enough to cover 1 window. It looks like a frag's coming out from Reinhardt there. It's not going to get much roll, so won't be too good on the approach, unfortunately. But they need to make sure Whitefang is on point here. He's got the shield. They need to utilize him, and there's more smoke coming in. Looks like secondaries will come in off of Whitefang. Now 1 minute 20 seconds left as the clock reels on. And what's crazy is I'm not seeing Riot rotate anyone back over to this door. So if Dr. Sean goes down, they are going to be in a mass panic to rush back towards this objective, and I'm not sure that that'll be enough to overcome Pandemonium at that point. They should be able to clear and set on this platform before the rotation happens. And here comes Dr. Sean to be the first one to get a peek. I think Whitefang spotted him as well. He does. He's pulled it back just a little bit, but here comes the rotation. Whitefang's going to put the pressure on, and they'll trade out. Now they just need to push towards the objective. Dr. Sean finds a frag. No, that was D-Baggins' frag that's going to take down Reinhardt. He's going to go for the res at the wrong time. No, Sweet Bean's going to go for the shield. What the heck? How did he manage to survive that?
How did he not see him trying to
What?
res? Hordini manages to scoop up those last 2 kills in a literal miracle there. I mean, just...
That was ridiculous.
I think I caught a snippet of it here in the replay. We'll just take a look. Yeah, he pushes through the smoke. He sees the 2, but then he just opts, instead of firing, picks up the shield and tries to challenge that way. Meantime, the rotation came in from Hordini. He's able to scoop it up in the end. What an... Sometimes you just scratch your head, you know? The decision making, you know, in the heat of the moment, it can be tough, but sometimes funny stuff like that happens. Riot's able to hold on to that defense.
Yeah, wow, definitely not what I thought was about to happen there. I mean, it's exactly the opposite of kind of what I called, but most of the reason for that is kind of the stall at the bottom of the stairs. They spotted Dr. Sean out. They got a little hesitant there. A botched frag was dropped and ended up going for a res. Surprisingly, they didn't get killed on the res because that defender, I forget, I think it was Reefer, picked that up there at the end. And just... No, Sweet Bean. He runs across. He's so laser focused on the shield that he doesn't even notice the free opportunity to close out the round there with the 2 people, you know, not paying attention, not ready to engage, and then escapes his own death. Once both of them are up and firing on him, he manages to get that shield up and covering as he falls back. Just impressive stuff. And then Hordini to be up at the very last second and come in and just kind of be that unexpected angle and pop around that corner. Really excellent stuff there in the last few seconds of that round.
All right, we are into it now because round 6 is kicking off. Pandamonium trying to hold the defense here, has to hold it to hang on to the map. Riot takes this. They take map 1, and that momentum we talked about with our terrible similarities will come into play, and they'll start map 2 off feeling pretty confident. We'll see here. We can see the offense approaching largely in this southwest corridor on a few different angles. One heading up top towards Catwalk 2 on the south side, and 2, of course, in that basement approach. And that's something we didn't see from the Pandemonium offense. They opted not to head down that tunnel. Usually a pretty standard approach for an offense.
Sweet Bean and Hordini now making their way into what used to be called Yellow Room, but now that I'm in here, it's quite concrete. The evidence is concrete, I tell you, and they were able to push their way out to the subway trains. Literally 0 defense up on the top or mid decks for Pandemonium. They have stuck all 5 downstairs, full broad spectrum line across the basement track. They're ready for just about any approach, and it looks like Riot's mostly trying to set up, a top level attack. Well, no, I do see Xandria now and Reefer at the basement level as well.
The C4 will detonate early, really early. No sound was being made in that tunnel. They just kind of did it on a feeling, and that's one piece of equipment Riot no longer has to worry about.
What's even worse is it's a lethal piece of equipment.
Yeah. That is a very, that's a big, piece of equipment to lose this early on. There's still a lot of game to go. I mean, that could have been a 3-person kill had they waited for sounds in that hallway. And now we won't know, because it is off the field. And it looks like Riot's just waiting for folks to set up. I mean, the camera's here on Xandria, but a lot of the members of Riot are just trying to get into position. So it looks like they've got a sort of set play they want to run. They just need to get everybody into position before they do so.
I'm just trying to figure out who would be considered out of position at this point that they'd be waiting for. If anything, I feel like Reefer Madness and Xandria are the farthest out of position, just looking at the setup. But now Hordini's coming down the stairs as if he hears a defender, and hopefully this doesn't turn into a blue-on-blue violence here at the bottom of the stairs. He's checking his tablet, so he should be fine, but man, they're really still just approaching like they've just heard an enemy.
At least it's a shield. At least he won't be able to insta-kill him.
No, but Reaper's on.
He did have his pistol up like he was gonna shoot. That's the kind of stuff that, you know, again, and we talked about Riot's roster being, you know, not all veteran players, so there is still that bit of disconnect. I mean, to be honest, how many times have I shot, you know, birds coming around a corner and I play on my side? So it's
A lot.
you know, even the veteran
I've done
teams
a
will
lot.
make their mistakes here and there.
Oh yeah, Trip shoots me all the time, whether it's in practice or scrim or, you know, during
I think
games.
that's just for fun. That's not a mistake. He just enjoys
Yeah,
doing
I think a
it.
lot of people just want to shoot me. It's weird. It's a
Well, I
weird
mean, when
sensation.
when you're on the battlefield, anything can happen.
True.
We're sort of panning over this defense, and I mean, they've picked every corner down here and just tucked right on into
Telling
it.
you, I really don't see how an execution is going to actually work on this defense because it's just so turtled up on this objective. But we'll see. Riot's got 3 strong coming through the tunnel, and now D Baggins is going to hear it in his weirdly twisted up way. That'll be off the corner. That's the momentum they should push off of. Sweet Bean actually pops in and finds a kill. Reaper Madness here on the corner. He's not going to be ready for D Baggins. Oh, nope, there he is. He is ready for it. They'll finish him off.
Hold back.
The trade comes in from Sweet Bean and White Fang, also on the mid platform. Riot actually here with quite a bit of force. 4 on 2. They need to take this team of 3 and shove it up the subway line, push their way towards the objective and help support their man on that north stairwell because they are way off pace. This guy's about to walk out the door into a tag team defense on that objective. They need to hurry up and back him up here.
Sean could get the peek here onto Reinhardt. Reinhardt just needs to look to the left. He'll spot Dr. Sean, but no. Dr. Sean will be the one who makes the peek first. He's going to be going for the cap. Android does manage to stop that, but he is the lone defender versus the 3 coming up here. And Hordini with the long shot. But that MK16 will knock that final member of Pandamonium out. And Riot will take the first map with a 4-2 scoreline.
Yeah, looks like chat's just getting to that heck of a round ender there, but Riot, yes, closing out the first map there. GG's to them on that. Pandemonium, though, putting up a very solid first map against them, especially for a team just coming in this season, coming out of that rookie boot camp, as you mentioned, Noman. So, impressive stuff there from them, and, well, they are the home team, so this should be their map pick. But either way, be moving on to map 2 now. As a reminder to the audience out there, our bans are Tanker and Snow Peak. Of course, as you just saw, map 1 was Subway. And now it looks like we're going to be moving on to Suburbia.
Are you in the same game as me, Sleepy? The second map is actually going to be Cargo.
Sorry. No, I wasn't in the same game as you, apparently.
Cargo is going to be map 2. Who doesn't love Cargo, honestly? Such a fun map to play and to spectate, especially a very chaotic
I don't
map.
love Cargo.
Oh, the truth comes out, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean,
Sleepy
it's
hates fun.
mostly because I'm terrible at it, if I'm completely honest with you.
Well, yes.
Which is
I
crazy
suffer
because
from
I'm on
that
SMC,
same
and
problem.
SMC is pretty solid on the map. But yeah, I am terrible at Cargo. Like, people kill me in ways I never seem to be able to figure out. To be fair, I also die around a lot of corners, so I'm hoping that maybe after 1.8 drops and all the optimizations and fixes come out, along with the quest launch. By the way, quest launch in just 5 days. I'm sure the Onward team would want me to tell you all. But yeah, so with all of that stuff going on, I'm hoping that that'll fix it, and maybe I'll have a more of an enjoyment of the map again. But yeah, for me, I don't enjoy it because I'm always just getting wrecked. Like, and I can never figure out why that is. I mean, in some cases I can, right? Like, I'm being too aggressive, I'm pushing right up the center, I'm engaging with someone who I know is going to be in this spot, and I know they might be faster than me. So in some cases I might be doing it to challenge myself to get better at a certain aspect of my game. But in other terms, it's just me being terrible at the map. I never find the right pathings. It just ends badly for Sleepy usually on Cargo.
Yeah, it is a challenging map. I mean, you're sort of limited on your routes, and if the other team is good at covering their lanes and making sure they've got overlapping coverage so that they could do, get those refrags when they're available. It is a very challenging map. It really does come down to using your equipment as effectively as possible, making sure that you're you're smoking the objective, you're smoking your approach, you're using those flashbangs on those sort of wide open spaces in between crosses, and a bit of luck. I mean, let's be serious. Some of it is coming around the corner and bringing your gun up faster than somebody else. I mean, it's a very, I feel like it's a very skill-based map, right? I always say that certain maps are, technical maps where it's a lot of equipment usage and coordination, but I feel like Cargo is a very, it highlights player skill because it's fast-moving. You have to make quick decisions. You have to understand the ramifications of those decisions. And when Cargo heats up, and we've seen hot Cargo maps, right? We've seen 15-second, 12-second, 40-second rounds, where a team is eliminated or a cap comes out. In 20 seconds, how many decisions can you make, and how much action can you keep track of, right? I mean, it's a very difficult map, and it keeps everybody on their toes. But it also has the sort of other side of the coin, where it can be played slow. It can be played methodical. It can be played, you can burn the entire 6-minute round timer if you so choose. But then the playstyle becomes very different, right? It becomes a sort of almost like mind games. We see people like tossing fake smokes or putting a smoke down and then rotating out of it to try to catch a different angle and force the defense to rotate. And so when teams do play it slow, the whole meta changes. And that's kind of why I like it. It's an interesting map because based on your opponent and based on your play style, it can be wildly different in what the outcomes and what the action looks like. So I'm excited to, at the very least, cast this this match here. But we are waiting on Pandamonium's 5th player to jump into the lobby, and we're gonna do the old caster hack, and we're just gonna threaten an intermission here in just a couple of moments if we don't see them join back in.
Because we all know that when we go to intermission, they're going to start that round up. We're just going to have to jump right back in, and you're all going to get whiplash.
Exactly. Well, I hope you love transitions in our asset package, because you're about to see when we're going to take a quick intermission. It won't be the full timer, I hope, at the very least, and we'll be back into the action as soon as we've got 10 in the lobby. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. The intermission threatening worked. Pandemonium does have 5 on the field now, and we're getting into our first round of Cargo Map 2 now underway. Let's see what happens. We're going to see fast play, we're going to see slow play. The pre-fire.
See a lot of movement coming out from the side of Riot early. A lot of chatter as well. They're trying to call out as many positions as they can. Reefer Madness holding the shield, trying to press the front. Sweet Bean now going to be pressing the front of the push here as he makes his way all the way to building 1. Scratch that, building 4.
They have identified Nexus's position.
Ooh, a good grenade. If only he would have gotten the left side of the fence instead of the right. That might have been enough to at least down Nexus, or maybe it would have, you know, he might have hit that pole there right at the front of the fence and it would have dropped right on top of Nexus. That would have been a heck of a frag play there, but unfortunately for him, it does not. And we still have no kills on the map as we creep towards our first minute down. Xandria here in the middle, looking for any picks that he can get.
Never seen the equipment utilization. That grenade goes a little too long, looking for Reinhardt tucked in on the corner there. I mean, they're close. They're close. Just no cigar just yet. Bean's going to be the first one to find a pick. And Chesney, the captain of Pandamonium, will be the first to go down here on this first round.
Good attempt at a flash there, but no effect. Nexus still staying tucked. Reefer gonna keep pushing this. He's got to be careful. If they look at the flank, and Nexus is gonna find him, but Nexus will get refragged by Sweet Bean, and Reinhardt will pick up Sweet Bean from the back on the other side.
Andrea now on the inside. On the 3 remaining. They're still back in their spawn, but Hordini manages to make it work for him as D. Baggins will go down, likely rotating to get that res onto Nexus. That's just going to leave 2 up for Pandamonium. And this res is very unlikely. Android Goat needs to be not challenging that because Reinhardt Dean just traded out with Dr. Sean. That's just going to leave Android all by himself, and now it's a 1v1.
Yeah, excellent stuff here. Nexus actually able to still provide Android Goat with some callouts, so hopefully it looks like Xandria actually got by Nexus as well. Now Android Goat's going for the res, and Xandria's inside capping. He's got Tablet out. He is inside. Android Goat's rounding the corner. He does see it, and he manages to scoop up the pick. Luckily for them, and they secure round number 1 here on Cargo. My goodness.
My goodness, indeed. Let's take a look at that last-minute save there. He went for the res. I mean, good solidarity on the team, but Xandria just not quick enough with those capping fingers. Not able to hold on as the rotation comes back, and Android seals the deal for his team there in round 1. A very nice showing by Pandamonium. I mean, it worked out so well for Riot, and I would say if, like, maybe one of those frags had found their target, it could have swung the other way. It absolutely could have gone the way of Riot.
Completely. Well, they wouldn't have sacrificed 2 resources into trying to push barrels, in trying to clear out that flank. Also, it wouldn't have made them have to, they wouldn't have been so tunnel visioned on it that they would have forgotten about the cross look from Reinhardt, which ended up being the downfall of, I believe, both players that attempted to hit barrels. So yeah, I mean, those grenades, had it just been on the other side of the fence, could have changed the whole game. And realistically, the second one wasn't in fact too long. It was just in the wrong spot. It was in one of the kind of the more late round defensive positions where they kind of pull back off of that cross sight barrels, and they're looking for a more defensive wrap position. But either way, it was still a great round. I mean, both teams just kind of slugging it out, trading blows there throughout the entirety of the round. And Pandamonium able to secure their first point, hoping maybe they're going to reclaim some momentum here, grab some more points, maybe even take map 2 away from Riot.
Entirely possible that will be the case.
Alright, everybody, we ready for this?
See if Pandemonium has what it takes. We're going to dive right back into it. We didn't even hop to the scoreboard there. We just...
What's a scoreboard?
Just hung out. You know what? It's the anti-overlay. If I never go to the scoreboard, I can't leave it up. Is that?
You can never leave it up. That's right, buddy. Trip and I had that match the other night that lasted all of about 45 minutes. I don't think we actually had the time to use the scoreboard in between rounds.
Yeah,
they were going so quickly.
That is one of the downsides of quick moving teams. We don't even get to use these sweet overlays that we've spent all this time on. So don't worry, folks. You won't get an overlay this time.
Oh, I'm liking the coordinated smokes out early. A C4's coming over the middle and explodes, but it's no good. No effect at all.
There's a lot of grenades since Andrea and Dr. Sean just soaked up. I mean, just past their position. It was so close.
Smokes first up front.
Ooh, we're seeing trades back and forth. Sweet Bean goes down. Xandria with a frag onto Android as he pushes through on that center triangle, and now it's a 4v4.
Ordini's just taking shots. That's going to alert Reinhardt to his position. He's going to set up inside the building. Were you looking for him to be poking through the wall, Reinhardt? Don't lie. He will come around the corner pre-firing. He manages to pick up Ordini as well, but he's not looking for the cross look. And Xandria finds the pick onto Reinhardt, evening things back out. It's a 3v3, 4 minutes, 45 seconds. Nexus has got to be careful. If he's not, he's going to get double fired, and he does. Dr. Sean takes the kill instead. D-Baggin's now looking. We'll see. Somebody might kill one of these guys.
I mean, they've survived a bunch of nades, 2 pushes from the offense. Honestly, I feel like they're unkillable right now. They are just
They probably feel that way too.
holding it down. The Riot defense, see if we have time, just do a quick replay of that nice little push onto the barrels there. And unfortunately, going for comms out in the open with his hand on his radio is going to mean he is down and out. Dr. Sean will close things out as he finds D-Baggins close on the long peak onto, I believe that was Kesney, the last one, giving Riot their first point here, and we're in a tied series.
Wow, I really like that aggression there off the end. They heard the loud comms coming through from the Pandamonium side, and they just immediately kind of pushed off of their defensive positions and immediately towards attacking that offensive member. So a great round and a great late round deep response from the defense. If they would have just let that guy go, who knows what could have happened. As a 1v2, I mean, that's not an unlikely scenario for someone to come back and manage to clutch a round. So great for them, great on them for pushing out there and really going at it.
Exactly the kind of thing that we, are used to seeing here on Cargo. That back and forth, that 1-to-1, defense will win on both sides or offense will win on both sides. A pretty standard fare for this map.
Yeah, and to me, kind of like Suburbia, except for different reasons. To me, Cargo feels like one of those maps that just can kind of swing the way of Lady Luck, right? Like, if you get 2 teams like Riot and Pandemonium here going back and forth, it can really end up coming down to who's luckier that night. Each one, if you really broke it down into individual plays, individual rounds, and so on, if you brought it up, it's a complete tie. At the end of it, it's just going to come down to who's a bit luckier that night. That's how I feel. Suburbia, I feel like because the map has been around so long, so most players, even if they weren't competitive players before, know it well enough to be competitive at all levels. And then for this map, it's just it just kind of becomes so random. I mean, so many things happening at once. Looks like there might be a physical injury on the side of Riot. I think Xandria might have banged his knee on something in his play space there. Field medic came out and treated him up with a bit of ice pack, cold pack, and ibuprofen. Action in the middle. Android Goat's going to go for the rush into building 2.
He's tucked in here. He's going to look for the sweet bean jelly push, but Ordini's on the inside. Runs through the bullets. What? That's 2 for Android there. Wow, the reaction time not quite fast enough for the offense. Now Reaper's going to be looking for the frag onto Android as he pushes with the shield. The defense is getting a little antsy here.
1 and 2.
Oh, that was an unfortunate call. He asked for the C4 to be blown up, and that is exactly what happened. Reaper with the confirmed grenade. Not quite the call out you wanted. I don't know that he knew exactly where that C4 landed.
Right there, confirming their counts. They're aware they only have 3 up. They know they have 1 confirmed down, so they are correct. And that intel, of course, always good to know, always good to have on hand, so that you know either how many more defenders you're looking at defending this objective that you either have to kill or that you might have to be aware of if you're going for a cap. So when those trades come out and those players die and they're not able to relay that information to their team, it can create a lot of uncertainty. And that's when you'll see, kind of like we saw on Subway there, where that was that 3-man hesitation to go for the cap. I think that might also be partly due to the fact that, they didn't have an accurate kill count. So when that happens, again, you'll see a lot of hesitation, a lot of uncertainty when it comes to going for the objective. And it they're still playing that way a little bit, even though they have the right information. But I think that's because they know now that they've waited kind of so long that defense is definitely set in some pretty key positions that they're going to have to be looking out for. And I think Reefer might be the first one here to find that next opponent.
You're peeking through the wall,
Sees D-Baggins IK there peeking through the wall. Lets him know. That's a kind player right
Nice
there.
enough of him, right?
Lets you know. And Zandria with the nice assist there. Will grab that pick onto the defense, evens things out a little bit as they're now in a 3v3.
Can I say, though, that, like, while he did tell him about it, he also did take 2 shots at his butt before he told him about it. So it's like,
Just in case, just in case he could win it out. Kazni finds
with
the
cross
shield
shots off
on
the
the
objective,
long. Long peek, a very nice pickup there. For
Sean is
Kesney.
not completely by Nexus here. Oh, maybe never not. Nah, never mind. Nexus must have heard me.
Yeah, why are you so loud, Sleepy? That's what I want to know. I can hear you all the way in the game. Andrea taking a couple of shots, not able to get back into cover in time, and Pandamonium will take the lead yet again here as they go up 2-1.
Awesome sauce there. Pandemonium finding their points here on Cargo. I mean, it makes me wonder what happened. I mean, they did well, don't get me wrong, against Riot, and maybe I'm beating up on them too much because they're coming from, you know, working with the Mayhem guys and kind of being their like little brother team, their JV team as you've called them. And mind you, we're only calling them that simply because they are newer to the organization, not because they are necessarily new players or because they play like noobs. No, none of that. Simply because their team is new. But yeah, I mean, Riot, of course, I've seen Control Flirt Delete there in the chat talking about how they're training up some new roster members as well. And we can see that. You can see that there are some players on that roster that aren't as familiar as some of the other members of the Riot roster are. But overall, the game is going well. I think this has been an excellent Friday night fight so far. But Noman, there's one thing that's been missing tonight from our cast, and it's really been bugging me. And I think that's thanks to our sponsors.
Well, I mean, our sponsors are the lifeblood, and yeah, we don't have a lot of opportunities to shout them out, especially with losing our momentum. Thanks, UPS. You can make it up to me by sponsoring us. But no, we do have some fantastic sponsors to shout out. ProTube, VR Cover, V Haptics, Fixed Gaming, Cyber Shoes, and Rebuff Reality. Just some of the best VR accessories and affiliates and sponsors that there are. I mean, just go check out their stuff. Honestly, you've heard us. It's your first time here. Obviously, this is all brand new to you, but I'm going to bank on most of you guys having been in a couple of our casts recently, and you know how fantastic those guys are. They're sponsoring all kinds of things like prizes for our league and just excellent equipment for the VR community as a whole. But that's going to kill all the time we have for sponsors as the rain of fire comes down from Pandamonium. Android finds one. Hordini with a refrag onto Reinhardt will even things out yet again, and now we're in a 4v4. Only 25 seconds burned.
A long-range nade out, and it's going to land right at the feet of Sweet Bean. Wow, what an amazing chuck there. Zandria will be able to find Kesney on the refrag. Nexus is up front quick. Reefer will pop around and find him. Or Hordini pick up the revive onto Sweet Bean, but still, what an amazing frag onto that position that Sweet Bean was holding. And from all the way across the map, Reefer now just going on a tear, coming up from the backside. He'll be taken down finally. Pandemonium goes down to their last members. Only 1 minute into the round. It's a 3v1.
Yeah, that Reefer Madness aggressive push into the Marsoc spawn. That's the danger of being, tucked into your spawn for so long. It can be pretty easy for a defender to make one pick happen, open up a lane, get into the back line, and cause some havoc. Exactly what Reefer did there. Android's got plenty of time to work with. I mean, he's got the 4.5 minutes left, right? More than 2/3 of the time left, but he's got 3 folks to try to pick off first. We're just going to kind of ride along in his first-person view and see if he gets lucky.
I feel like that's really the only way to go when we get into these 1vx situations, right? Is to just follow in the shoes of that person and live that clutch, especially if it happens, right? If Android Goat there is able to, clutch this, being able to see exactly what was going on in his mind or in his field of view as he pushes through these next few minutes, 4 minutes just passing by on the clock. It's not made a lot of motion. I feel like he's nervous now that they've sent another flanker, another aggressive flanker off to see him.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with this building, this room in general, it's sort of a trade, right? Because you feel like you're so safe inside of this 4 walls and you just peek out this doorway. The problem is, from the other side, the defense can have quite a few different lines onto this doorway. And to get out of this building is so difficult. And I would know that's actually one of my favorite little spots to defend from. Not always attack for that specific reason, but definitely on defense has been used by myself and others in the league, and it is a challenging position to get right. Android now on the move. He's not really spotting anything close, and he's looking at the right area. That's where all 3 are. Andrea first to let a few shots ring out, give his position away. All quiet on the Western Front. See, now this is the time to do sponsor callouts. This is the
Andrea's going to come around the corner right at the wrong moment as Android takes the shots. He finds the pick. Now it's a 1v2. 2 minutes, 30 seconds left. He's got plenty of time for the size of the cargo map. This is, of course, one of the smaller maps here in the Onward repertoire. And 1v2 with 2.5 minutes. He's got plenty to work with. Not to mention he's rocking that M249, so he's got that box full of ammunition to utilize. It's going to be unlikely for him to be at a loss in a firefight, but we'll have to see. He's going to take his time here. He's crouching. He's trying to manage his noise levels as well as he can. Sometimes, though, that can be very difficult to do. You get that adrenaline going, that heart's beating, and you just inch that stick forward just a hair too far, and you go from being able to creep silently around and not be noticed by the enemy team to making enough noise, well, basically to jingling coins in your pocket is what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, it's just another level of something to manage, right?
Arctic's gonna peek into this crate. Houdini gonna come off the angle at just the wrong moment. He had his laser through that cargo container for a moment, and Android wasn't looking as he kind of appeared into the container, but Houdini pulled his eyes off of it. I will say Android is definitely taking the route that I would suggest, and that we've seen become a lot more popular when trying to approach this objective. Now he's going to be making a little bit of noise as he comes out through this objective way, and it looks like Houdini's going to be ready for it. Who's going to get the shots off first? Android manages to get the pick. 1 minute left as he's going to go now over towards the objective. He's just got to deal with Sweetbean, and Sweetbean's actually been down earlier already in the round, so if Android even manages to nick him with a round, he should be able to get the win. And here it is, the clutch coming. Sweetbean going to pop out. He's not going to find the shots because Android's going to rotate almost immediately. Good move from Android.
Exactly what you need to do. Make your defenders worry and panic, and now's the time to peek it. There it is. He finds the shot, and Sweetbean goes down and out. A nice clutch there by Android Goat. A 1v3 situation that he's able to bring back, and Pandamonium will ride that round to a 3-1 lead here in map 2.
Yeah, they are looking solid here on cargo now. They look like they're in a bit of a rhythm as well. I mean, don't get me wrong, that Riot flanker really messed things up, and I didn't think, to be completely honest with you, they were going to be able to pull that one back. But they did. That 1v3 clutch does come through, and Pandamonium gaining some steam here. Let's see if they'll take the map here on this next round. They do have the advantage of being on defense, so if they lock this down, the only problem is, arguably, this is the most volatile objective on the map coming up. One of the ones that we see some of the fastest caps happen on in the league in history. In fact, on this particular objective.
This is absolutely the fastest capped objective, I think. I don't think I've ever seen... I believe the record's about 12 seconds, but I mean, they're all unofficial records. We don't actually keep track of that stuff. It's just word of mouth. But it is a very quickly capped objective. And I don't know. The way the teams have been playing, I don't think they're going to go for that blind rush in. I think they're going to take their time and get
too much
their
on
picks.
the line to do it, in my opinion. But
yeah, Pandemonium needs this map to hang on to the series and take it to a 3-map decider. Otherwise, Riot has the chance to bring it back and take the series out from under them. So you're right. They've got to hold this defense as well as they can.
I knew I was getting close. That's pretty fun.
See if they get the opportunity to do so. As round number 5 kicks off.
You're hanging out on objective with me.
Apologies on that. Overlay being left up. You know, this is the problem. It just never go to scoreboard. I should have used my my ghetto fix. It's my fault. Entirely my fault. Smoke's coming in from both sides. There's just I can't see anything. Sweeping pushes through. D Baggins is the first to go down. Sweeping's on the inside. They're gonna go for the quick push. Kesney's down. Nexus is down. The confirm comes out. Android Goat's the only one on objective. Basically, he does manage to down.
Android Goats doesn't see it, and he's gonna get taken down by Xandri at the last moment. This should be a cap. Dr. Sean still working on it, and there it is. Riot gonna grab 2 and tie things up on Pandemonium.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Riot busting out the quick moving action there. Taking no time at all. I didn't even pay attention to the clock to see how long that took, but it couldn't have been more than 30 seconds as the smokes poured in. The push came in. 3 going down, and Dr. Sean on the tablet, saved by the teammate. We caught a little bit of that in the replay, I hope. Let's take a look. Yes, indeed. Look at all the smokes out there. And Dr. Sean on the inside, able to make that cap happen and secure that for Riot. And now the swing. I mean, how quickly did that go from a massive advantage for Pandemonium to now Riot sitting on match point?
Match point on defense.
Yeah. I mean, I will say, to be fair, I will say I feel like Marsoc has a bit more of an advantage that they normally do on Cargo. A little bit more than other maps.
Oh, yeah.
So the Volt advantage definitely not as strong here, but still, obviously present. The Riot can tuck in. They can play, as slow as they need to. They can turtle up and let the offense hang themselves, so to speak. But yeah, this is a high pressure situation for Pandemonium. I mean, shout out to Android Goat, 10 kills for the Pandemonium side. He's absolutely doing a fantastic job. I mean, obviously 2 rounds ago with that nice 3v1 clutch that he had to save that round, and we'll see if he can pull off, what he needs in order to secure this map for them, because I think that's what everybody wants to see. I honestly, if I'm gonna color myself with a little casting bias, I'm gonna say that is exactly what I want to see from Pandemonium as well, because everybody loves a round 3 decider. It's always exciting for Pandemonium or any other newer team to get a couple of wins under their belt. So we'll see what happens here as the round kicks off.
Sounds like the Pandemonium squad is still in good spirits, however. Sounds still quite happy, jolly there, but definitely not seeing the same level of immediate aggression coming out from Pandemonium as we saw from Riot. I was wondering if maybe they'd try and risk it for the biscuit as well, and just go for it all in. Seeing how it worked so well against them, they figure maybe they could try it themselves, but they do not. They hold back. They're playing very reserved already. 30 seconds in, and there's arguably not even out of the spawn box yet.
They are not. They're tucked in and waiting, and Riot stacked up. Really nobody on objective, right? I mean, they've got Xandria watching from that long south angle, and they've got 3 stacked. Sweeping on the outside of the red container, looking at the exit of the tunnel. Reefer under the door. Dr. Sean peeking the inside there. I mean, they've turtled. It's exactly what we were talking about. This all Riot needs to do is just tuck in and let the offense, get enough rope to hang themselves. And we'll see if Pandemonium has a way to deal with this situation as the grenades now start coming out. Some nice tosses, a double down.
Wow.
Coming out from that one as Reefer Madness and Dr. Sean will go down. The reses will come out
I
here
don't
pretty soon.
I don't think they even realized the Dr. Sean was down. But Reinhardt manages to pick up the confirmation on him. But Reefer Madness better be careful if they're aware of that look under the door. He could be putting himself in a bad situation being already down by that frag.
This little tandem of frags. D Baggins will find another. Hordini going down. Now it's a 5v3. Pandamonium looking really good on this offensive push. Now the defense forced to rotate. Reinhardt here in danger, is going to peek the tunnel, but he's got the gun up faster. One goes down. Sweet Bean not going to re-peek it, actually, and that could have been a really nice refrag opportunity for Sweet Bean. They're not going to have any more, but now here comes the offensive push. Xandria.
Andrew's up the middle. He's hidden. He's got his tablet out. Sweet Bean Jelly has no idea he's even there. They're going for the cap. Android's going to get it. It's going to be Pandemonium 5 to Riot 3. No one's going to see him in time. This is a new player, mind you, but he does get the cap relatively quickly, and they go and they get the win 5 to 3. Well played, Pandemonium, and we get a series decider on map 3.
A fantastic play there by Android, just sneaking in under the nose of the defense and able to punch that code in there. We're just taking a look at the replay there. I mean, absolutely uncontested. No one saw him coming, and a great play by Pandemonium and Android Goat to get them the 2 points. I mean, they really went for it.
They did. They didn't go for just the one, and they were doing well at just chipping away at the defense. In fact, we didn't have time to talk about, but I was going to say, no, when they actually were giving the defense enough rope to hang themselves with instead of the other way around, as we had talked about at the start of the round. So well done on them. I don't know what to say there. Did Riot just get too antsy? I mean, obviously that double grenade really shook things up right at the start, right? 2 guys go down. You had to pull one guy off to get the res. There was another one. I don't even know if they ended up knowing he was even down and need to be rezzed before he was confirmed. And then it just kind of fell apart from there. Just every pick started to go the way of Pandemonium. And then Android Goat sneaking right up the center there to add to his 10 kills. He gets a cap on top of the map. That is impressive stuff. Pandemonium definitely going to be putting a lot of pressure on some more seasoned teams this season. That is for sure.
Yeah, this is very heartening to see early on in the season, and I think this is how they want to go into the break that we're going to be having here for that Quest launch and that 1.8 launch on the PC. This is exactly you kind of want to poise yourself in a positive way, and I think this map win and potentially the series win on the line here could go the way of Pandemonium, and they played really solid there, coming back from being capped on is difficult, to say the least. I mean, it is a mental challenge, it is a physical challenge. Not every team knows how to handle it, and kudos to Pandemonium for being able to work themselves up and get those picks. I mean, a nice frag toss, good confirms, good communication. That final push came in, and they were able to get that cap. Just a fantastic series, but now we are into our third map, and the third map really warms my heart. Sleepy, it is a personal favorite of mine. It is Quarantine.
I was gonna say, is it just like super relevant to you right now?
It is just, what a great map to end on, and I'm so excited to see how these teams approach the objectives on this map. Anything goes. Riot definitely a practice team on this map. Pandemonium is gonna have their work cut out for them. I think this map very much favors the veteran teams, the ones who know, every nook and cranny and every approach and every long angle they can be spotted by. It definitely, if your map knowledge is not up to snuff, that could be, more than enough for a team to have advantage over you. So we'll see if Pandemonium's been putting in that practice work on this map. Riot's map choice here, it looks like.
Yeah, and believe we are going to have...
Oh, actually, I apologize. I think Pandemonium... Yeah, it would be Riot's map choice. Pandemonium would have picked into defense, if I'm not mistaken, as they are home.
Yeah, and it does look like we will have a small break here, as Pandemonium have informed me they are going to be doing some quick changes. Looks like D Baggins will be going out, and White believe his name was White Fang,
White Bang.
will be coming back in for the side of Pandamonium. So we'll see how that affects their play here on Quarantine. Quarantine, obviously, my favorite map personally, and you know, just really exciting overall. It's great for us as casters because we don't have to worry about hallways and ceilings and all of those fun things to keep us from being able to keep up with all the action. And then of course you can, you know, most of the people at home, this being one of the most played maps in Onwards, you know, in the VRML and the competitive side. Anyways, because it's got a great balance of cover and sight lines and movement lanes. So
I absolutely agree with you, Sleepy. I am excited for this matchup. I'm excited for this map. I'm excited for the teams to kick it off. There's a lot of excitement here, but we have to put a pause on that excitement as we get everybody into the lobby first. So we're gonna go to a quick intermission. Don't go too far away. It likely will not run the full 5 minutes this time either, and we will be back as soon as the action kicks off, so don't go anywhere. Map 3, the series decider for Pandamonium versus Riot Week 4, will be back in just a few moments. right, ladies and gentlemen, a little bit over the timer for intermission, but we are back with 10 on the field. Pandamonium on the defense, Riot on the offense, the map and series decider. I mean, of course, it's the map decider. It's the map. It's the third map, Quarantine, underway. But we are in a 1-1 situation. Subway going 4-2 to Riot and 5-3 in the direction of Pandamonium. Calling.
Hey, I need you to look north.
Kesney is calling out. Very loud. He's got a very loud microphone.
I told you. He has got a crazy good microphone because it is loud, or he's got it shoved down his throat. One of the two.
I mean, something's happening there because it is very loud. Smoke's now in the north. Grenade's going to come out, but a little short. I mean,
he really tried to get it there, but that's
a
long toss.
A very long toss. The pre-fire into the smoke isn't really going to matter because the two members of the offense did cross into the north wall here. Reaper with the shield. Oh, not with the shield. I apologize. With the machine gun. Not going to be taking a shield this time. And we're seeing action all over the spot here as Dr. Sean pushes up into the rooftop courtyard. Could have a nice little...
peeker. Yeah, White Fang peeking down from the roof there. He may end up spotting Reaper here in just a moment, or maybe the cross from Hordini. He's looking, but he's not been spotted. Kesney's going to find Dr. Sean, and Reaper will take shots towards White Fang, but no connections made. Now the rush is on towards the rooftop. Xandria is the one pulling up onto White Fang now.
Yeah, he is right here. I mean, Xandria's got to be hearing Kesney's call-outs. I mean, at that range, Xandria pops the corner, does manage to secure rooftop. But now he's going to have to deal with Kesney. The shot's coming out towards two-story, keeping Nexus suppressed. And Kesney will find that refrag onto Xandria. And a lot to pay attention to there.
Yeah, Pandamonium doing a good job of keeping themselves alive. They've only lost the one to Xandria up on the roof. He's been taken care of. And Nexus, now Kesney gonna find another one. That's his second? Third?
I believe that's his second. I think there was one... Oh, no, I'm sorry, third. Yeah, you're right. Dr. Sean was also a pickup by Kesney, so he is just on a tear here, picking up all the current kills onto Riot all by himself. I mean, he is handling callouts, he is handling team positioning, and he's fighting all the picks himself. I mean, leave some for your team, Kesney. Nexus
there we
there
go. Nexus
will find Hordini. Now Sweet Bean Jelly, the last one alive. Really kind of uncontested here. No one's had an angle on him. I mean, he took a couple of shots, was able to find a defender in center burning. Yes, it was center burning that Sweet Bean was able to get the pick on, and he's just kind of free and clear here to move about the cabin, as it were. Airplane jokes, because, you know.
Oh, boy. But the problem is he's actually not free to move about the cabin on this map because you can't get inside, at least not effectively inside. You can get slightly inside the fuselage at the moment, but you know, yeah,
they're just gonna miss each other. Reinhardt there peeking over as he crossed the opening. Sweet Bean might spot him out here. He does look for him. The shots ring out. He does find one.
He doesn't finish him though, so Reinhardt should be able to get that call out. And Nexus is right. Is it Nexus or Kesney that's right there next to him? He should be able to get around and get the res out.
I believe that's Kesney. I think Nexus was in the two-story, so gonna be up to Sweet Bean Jelly to rotate and find a different angle on this, but Kesney's kind of ready. He's watching this southern cross to gas station. You sort of see his laser sort of peeking in here and there.
I'm really confused as to why they've not gone for the res onto Reinhardt there. He's not far. It should be quite visible to him. It looks like he's maybe making his way over there now. Oh, I see what it is. He's concerned that as he goes to cross out that he's victim to that person. But Reinhardt should be able to see that angle and provide the coverage. Reinhardt will...
Sweet Bean's down to 1 minute and 15 seconds on the clock. He doesn't have a lot to work with. He could find the back of Nexus here, but he's got to move kind of quickly. I mean, he still has a res. Somebody calling out in the north. Not that there's a lot of intel. Ooh, and Kesney's in danger, Sweet Bean. Able to find that pick, but Reinhardt shuts down the comeback, and Pandamonium will secure the first round here in quarantine.
Yeah, I mean, Kesney starting things off hot for his team, 3 and 1, and the 1 res. Then Nexus and Reinhardt helping to clean things up there in the round. Sweet Bean managing to find 2 there in the round for his team. Riot, however, unable to convert on their Marsoc round. We'll see if they're able to pick up their next defensive round, or if Pandamonium is just on a roll after that last round, that cap on Cargo.
Yeah, they've got that momentum, right? They've secured the second map. They're back in the running. Riot now is going to be on the back foot because they didn't get Volk advantage, which does play into quarantine quite a bit. And so now they're set up in a good position. If they can hold the Volk advantage, prevent Riot from capping, they have a very good opportunity to take this this map and this series away from Riot, and that would be absolutely huge for them. But I mean, Riot, they're not going down without a fight. I think there's some strong players there. They've played really well over the course of the series so far, so I don't think Pandamonium can let down their guard for even a second. I think if they do, they're going to see that same, score line of 1-3 change 3-3 like we saw in Cargo with that quick Riot cap. So still plenty of action left here in this third map. And what a series it's been so far. I'm going to take this time. Thank everybody for tuning in and watching with us. There is a game now going on, G-Men and SMC on Master League 1, so tune into that. We'll kick you on over there when this match ends. But yeah, there's a lot of good Onward action, and this matchup has turned out to be a fantastic one for us to pick up.
Uh-oh, looks like Riot has had a drop. They haven't seemed to pick up on it yet. We're rolling into the round. We'll see if they notice it in time, but they've got 15 seconds from the time this round starts. So they've got about 5, 4, 3, 2, and I see no acknowledgement of the drop. And there it is, folks. It'll be a 4v5, but now it's 4v4 because Hordini is going to manage to find Reinhardt very early on.
Yeah, those indicators in the top left there for the players left alive is incorrect. They did see a drop on the Riot side as only 4 show up on the overhead map. But yeah, now things are evened out. Now it's looking like it's still possible for Riot to secure this defense, especially if Pandamonium challenge Hordini in this position here.
Xandria is looking tasty to the defenders, or to the offense here, as he almost gets shot. A very tight angle over from the east buildings. Now he's got himself a bit protected from that angle.
He's got good overwatch here, and this is the position you want to have, especially now that the spawn has been ID'd.
No, I believe it has. They did get the 1 pick already.
That's
so
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Is once you've secured that that spawn location, the roof becomes even more effective because you don't have to split your view across different sight lines. And Xandria returning fire there to East HQ, not going to land the shots. Pandamonium will keep their 4.
Shooting abruptly when I shot at him.
Xandria making a call out. Thinking he may have gotten him. Meanwhile, Hordini snags Nexus in the south, and that's just going to make things a little bit more Riot favored here as they have a 4v3 situation on their hands. Honestly,
that drop was the best thing that could have ever happened to him,
apparently just running the 4 seems to be exactly what Riot need to hold on to this defense.
Android Goat and White Fang looking at the South Street, not really making any motions right now. I think especially White Fang a bit nervous after losing 2 members already in the South to Hordini. He's also going to have to worry about the look from the center burning. And I'm not sure he's even conscious of that right now. He seems to be very focused over towards the gas station area. I don't know if maybe it's because he's listening in on a conversation that he seems to be having over the radio with his team. But yeah, he's going to need to be conscious of that as he pushes out, because it does look like Sweet Bean is in that center burning and just looking for an opportunity to get a pick.
Yeah, this is a pretty tough street to cross right now for Android. He's got Sweet Bean in center burning. He's got Dr. Sean laying down outside of that fuselage all the way at the far west end of North Street. And he does not have a lot of options here. He's going to need some confusion from his teammates, you know, create some chaos to try to get out of here safely. I suppose you could still try to cross, but if the defense is good on their shots, not a lot of opportunity there. And 2.5 minutes left. We're still pretty far away from the objective. I mean, Marsoc taking their time, Pandamonium taking their time on this approach, trying to figure out. It looks like it's just a lot of conversation on radio that the team is planning and figuring out their positioning. And hey, more power to you, but you've got 2 minutes to execute whatever that plan is. And the defense is, you know, more or less ready for you.
Yeah, and it's really not been any forward progression. I mean, the farthest forward progression is the movement north. But as far as moving towards the objective, not really anything to speak of here on that.
There it is.
It's
the calls come
spread.
out. I mean, it was Kesney. Kesney was just giving all kinds of information as to what their play on this is going to be. Android Goat, though, now pinned. The shots coming out from Dr. Sean, forcing him to use that syringe. Zandri also, I believe, laying down fire from the rooftop. It's going to be Kesney's charge to try to take rooftop down if possible. Now Zandria applying pressure in 2 different spots.
Ooh, but Hordini's gotten a nice little flank angle here. He's got a nade going over towards the tank. It's not going to be far enough. And
White Fang's in trouble. White Fang's in trouble. He's going to be spotted out. There it is. The shots from Hordini will knock him out of the running, and now it's a 4v2.
Android. No, he doesn't. But he's looking that way.
Kesney manages to snag Zandri on the roof. Dr. Sean misses the shots on the cross. 50 seconds left. The offense is now pushing through. They've got the right positioning. They're just going to have to deal with Dr. Sean. If Sweet Bean and Hordini don't rotate back to objective pretty soon, this could be very dangerous for Riot. Android Goat now looking for Dr. Sean. Is Kesney going to be able to spot him? Because he's on the long angle on the roof. As long as Dr. Sean stays tucked in along that building, he should be safe. Android now pushing through towards objective. Only 25 seconds left. It's going to have to make the choice. It's either cap or nothing. The shots ring out. It's a trade. Dr. Sean down and out. Android Goat still revival. 20 seconds left. Now it's up to Kesney to rotate. Sweet Bean Jelly pushing through to the objective. He had pad out. Sweet Bean Jelly able to shut that cap attempt down and give Riot the tying point here in map 3. We're in a 1-1 series.
Wow. Things just started happening at all the last seconds. If Android Goat might have held his angle or might have held his position just a second longer, Kesney might have been able to come over the top there and find that pick onto Dr. Sean a little sooner and clear it up for the cap. I think either way, Sweet Bean was in a relatively short rotational position. He could have come in and still been able to stop it depending on the speed of the capper, but overall, a great play, and you know, what looked like it could have been, what looked like it was going to be defeat, had a moment there. Like, there was a glimmer for that offense, even starting on what you could call a disadvantage in the midpoint of that round. They closed it out and managed to put out a strong showing there by the end of it.
I mean, to start the round off with only 4. And
not even realize it.
Yeah, not even realize it and bring it back like that. A really well-played series by Riot to hold on there, but Pandamonium still on that bulk advantage. So as long as they keep winning these defenses and they don't allow a cap, still in a pretty dang good position. But it is going to come down to, you know, stopping the cap. It's really, they absolutely cannot allow Riot to convert 2 points here and put their backs up against the wall. They've got to hold strong on the defense. Do have 5 in the lobby now, so everybody's ready and raring to go here. We're gonna have the gas station garage OBJ. defense spawned in. Pandamonium now looking to continue holding on to this bulk advantage. Riot looking to try to get themselves into a better position. Got that long crater spawn, so it's gonna be a little bit of time before spawn is identified. Android Goat coming in here to center burning. Was just gonna miss the opportunity to spot them crossing here in the south.
Well, they're pushing for the South Street as well. This one could be the gamble, but no one really looking, so they'll push 2 across safely. No problems at all, and that could be problematic for this Pandemonium defense if they don't see it in time.
Yeah, they've chosen to stay pretty tight on OBJ. If you take a look at the overhead map, they've got pretty decent coverage of the overall area, but they're still in some exposed positions, and not knowing where the offense is going to come from is definitely going to make things way more difficult for them. The first person to be in trouble here, I think, is going to be Reinhardt on the south plane wing. He's not ready for Xandria to peek over this hill, and exactly what's happening here. Reinhardt does spot them out, but a little too late, and Xandria finds the shots onto Reinhardt now. It's like White Fang is trained in on the south hills, looking for a potential refrag if the offense isn't careful.
Correct. White Fang on ambulance there, looking up towards those hillsides, but he might get a little antsy as Sweet Bean comes up here to the corner. He looks over the wall. He finds White Fang. That's looking good for Riot. They're able to take down 2 so far, but they better be careful. That's team kill territory right there.
Friendly fire. Sweet Bean Jelly almost going down to some shots from his own teammate on the rooftop there. Luckily not connecting. It's the one time you're glad when your aim is not true.
I'm gonna try pushing up the plane wing. Godspeed. Coming with.
Andrew there, pushing up to plane wing. Godspeed. That's the kind of you know, gusto. That's the chutzpah that you need. And Kesney is gonna find that long shot onto Xandria. Godspeed was not fast enough, as the bullets of the defense will prevent 1 from crossing.
That is the fastest deployment of 2 smokes I think I've ever seen. It's like they both hit the ground at the same time.
Now the defense is in a bit of trouble.
Used them to get closer instead of just standing behind them.
It's a 4v3. 2 are tucked in here on objective. Kesney now rotating. This is so dangerous. There's one on rooftop looking in this direction. He just tucked in. Android Goat, the only one watching that northwest approach, but Dr. Sean's likely going to be able to sneak by him as he's not watching down that corridor. Shots are coming out from Android. He's looking for one. He does manage to pick off Reaper as he pushes down the hill, but again, unconfirmed. Gonna need to go for that confirmed because that's a lot of call-outs.
Oh my god, Sweet Bean's going for it. He's made it by everyone. He's gonna get inside. He's going for the cap. Kesney's not even reacted. This is gonna be a cap for Riot. No questions asked. They haven't even realized he's inside there. I think maybe the smoke and the fire coming out, maybe the radio calls from their team have distracted him. Sweet Bean's inside. Dr. Sean is keeping from killing Kesney. He could actually guarantee that this cap goes off by taking that kill, but instead he's going to let the cap go off. Sweet Bean does find it. Riot goes up 2, and the scoreline is 3-1 here on Quarantine as we go into what could be the series deciding round.
I mean, that is exactly what they did not want. And, I mean, just a ballsy play. He had plenty of time to sit on that. No reactions, no rotations from the defense. Basically handed them that cap on a silver platter. You hate to see it happen in a game as tense as we've seen so far, but a nice little play there. A nice risk taken by the Riot offense. Pays off, and they'll go up 3-1 in this final map.
Crazy. Incredible.
I mean, it's a great heads-up play. You know, if you feel you've got the opportunity and the defense just is out of position, I don't know. I was not there for the initial push, so I didn't quite see how he managed to maneuver his way around those 2 defenders on the objective. Obviously, Kesney rotating out of that garage and watching towards that southwest street was what did it, you know, in the end. But a great little play there, and now Pandamonium will have to either cap back and try to get that bulk advantage, or at the very least win on kills and try to keep themselves alive here. Can they come back from 2 caps is the question. I mean, this is pretty demoralizing. You know,
It's tough, yeah.
when you're down on the field and you get capped on twice in a game, God forbid 3 times, it really damages, you know, the way it damages the team morale. It damages your confidence in your play, and it's definitely a skill that players need to pick up and practice. We'll see if they've got what it takes here to come back from it. Now Riot going to be on the defense as we jump into round 4.
That's right, and they're going to be hoping that this is their last round, a defensive round. This is exactly what they want. They've got I would call the mid spawn for this. You know, they got the defenders coming off the north. They're not really going to get much intel at first. Riot's going to seem to stick very close as well, similar to how Pandamonium played this last time. The shots now ring off. It seems defense will have the intel that they need, and they should be able to readjust themselves accordingly to fit this attack approach.
Shots ringing out is exactly the intel that the defense needs. Xandria capitalizing already, finding the headshot onto Fang in the northwest. Securing the kill there from that wireframe building. You can see he's on the stairs there. Now Reinhardt's in trouble.
We love those guys.
Xandria was on the broken wall on the far west. It was such a long and tight angle to that corner. Yeah, wow, that is impressive.
Reinhardt here got 2 lasers painted over him. He was ID'd. The callouts came in. Now there's 2 defenders watching this angle. Reinhardt returning fire, but Dr. Sean ready for him on that peak. It is just going to be a down, so a res available for the Pandamonium squad. They've got Nexus here just kind of waiting. He's not... I mean, the defense is going to push up here, so he's got to resync with his team. If he pushes to white car, though, he's going to be in trouble, and that's exactly where he's going. He's kind of backing up towards this. Oh, but Sweet Bean gives up on the angle just a little too early and actually rotates downwards. Could have been even worse, but just like this, it's a missed connection for the defense there on a shot. Dr. Sean on the cross, able to survive Nexus's shots, and now he's looking... I'm sorry, Sweet Bean Jelly's looking for Nexus now. Getting back up onto the stairwell. He's looking at that. He sends the shots down, misses. There's the res coming out onto Reinhardt. It's going to make it a 5v4.
Now Kesney's pushing up through the middle on the north rooftop courtyard. He's going to be dropping out his mag, trying to make his way across, but it looks like maybe he was spotted there.
Andrea may have spotted him rotating into it.
Yeah.
Looks like he was called out. Oh, he's looking for him. He's just missing him. I mean, he's just like 5 feet behind him. But Sweet Bean here is trained on this position. Kesney needs to pop this corner, ready to shoot. Sweet Bean spots him. The shots come out. They don't land. There it is. The headshot does come out in the end. Sweet Bean knocks another Pandamonium member out of the race. It is a 5v3. Pandamonium have quite the comeback attempt here. Nexus peeking out. Almost loses his life yet again as Sweet Bean rotates up into center burning. Nexus here has been in this position for so long. It is so dangerous. Now he's got 2 guns trained on him. His Reaper's looking for him as well. And he's continually... I mean, he is just forcing this repeak as often as he can. Hordini, meanwhile, will grab Reinhardt on their rotations to the south. Reaper looking for Nexus to rotate towards the northwest, and they are dropping like flies here. Only 2 members of Pandamonium left. Reaper now pushing on this side. Is Nexus going to be ready? He's got tablet in hand. He's looking for his friend. He's going to peek the corner. Is Reaper going to be ready for him? He is. And that is the second to last member of the offense out. The last one here, Android Goat, fighting with Sweet Bean Jelly, trying to stay alive. 2 minutes left, but he's got a full team to kill. And it's looking like it's going to be a Riot round and a Riot series here, barring a miracle.
Yeah, and you know, going into map 3, because of the cap to get 5 from Pandamonium, on Cargo, it was actually a tie score line. So because of this the cap on this map gapping the score line a little bit more, it won't be as close of a score line as it was going to be, but still an impressive game here. It looks like we've got Reefer Madness on the rotation now. He's going to find just the backside of Android Goat there as he goes around the corner. Now Android's waiting for the rotation. Will he catch him? No, Reefer Madness grabs the kill. Riot grab the point and the series here at Quarantine. An excellent game overall, I'd say, especially from both a new team and a team playing through new members on its roster.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, no shame in that loss. Pandamonium put up an absolute hell of a fight. It was a great game to watch, and glad we were able to pick it up and cast it here for Friday Night Fights. And congratulations to Riot for holding on there, and a job well done for Pandemonium. Honestly, that is a lot to be proud of in that match and in that series. But that is gonna do it for us here on the casting desk today. There is a match going on right now, just about an hour in to that G-Men SMC match. So go ahead and tune in to that whenever you get a chance. We'll pop you over there once this cast wraps up, and we're gonna do that right now. So first of all, want to thank our sponsors:
Yes.
VR Cover, Pro2 VR, Fix Gaming, Cyber Shoes, Rebuff Reality, and the Haptics. All kinds of fantastic hardware and music and accessories for VR and for what you see on the stream here. So a big shout out and a thank you to all of those sponsors for what they do for the league. If you're interested in joining the league, vrmasterleague.com/onward, and you can also check out these, suite of other VR Master League games that we have in store for you, like Echo Arena and Pavlov, to name a couple. So go check that out. You can sign up to be a reservist. You can start your own team. You can play as a reservist for many teams. Just get your feel for it, or you can start your own team or be recruited by an existing team. So go ahead and check that out. Thank you to everybody for hanging out with us here in the Twitch chat. We do appreciate all of the feedback and comments and the support for the teams. It is a big deal. Just as a reminder, we do have the 3-week 1.8 and Quest Onward release hiatus starting on the 30th, so no matches will be played for 3 weeks from that point on as the teams get acclimated to the new update, and we onboard the Quest folks. So go check out Onward on the Quest, which will be dropping on the 30th as well.
Yes.
If you've got a Quest, get in there, play it. It's going to be cross-play with PC, there's going to be lots of full lobbies and lots of this exciting action to get into. So get excited for that. That, I believe, is going to do it for us at the... Oh, Sleepy's got one more thing.
One more thing, just on the note of all the new players coming in with the launch of Onward on the Quest, I just want to ask that all of our members of the community, new and old, remain and keep that welcoming attitude, because remember, that's what it is about this community that kept you around outside of the gameplay. So we want to make sure that we give that same experience to all those newcomers as well. So make sure when the newbies are in the lobby, I understand it can be frustrating when you're in a comp lobby full of veteran players and you get a new person that stumbles in by accident. It's okay, but keep your patience with them, because it's really not worth creating a bad name for you or the players in the league, because we all know you're not bad people for the most part, but one bad day could cause a bad impression on folks. So keep that in mind. Just be patient, be welcoming to those new folks, help them out, maybe even spend some time going into regular lobbies as a veteran player and showing some new folks the ropes. And this league is just going to explode. I mean, look what happened over in the Echo community after the Quest launched over there. I mean, just amazing. Just, I think, 200 plus teams at this point. So with that was it. That's my last little message. Thank you, Noman, for letting me squeeze in. But I think that'll do it for us here at the desk. Of course, I have been Sleepy, your co-caster, and of course the main host with the most tonight has been my man Noman.
Thanks, Sleepy. Much appreciated. Yeah, and just to wrap up on that thought, as a favorite podcaster of mine once says, and a saying that I like to repeat to people on the note that Sleepy mentioned is think about what you put out into the world make it a better place. And on that note, we're going to sign off and kick you over to the G-Men SMC game going on. This has been Noman and Sleepy on Master League 2. We'll see you again tomorrow for a ton of games, but stick around. There's more Onward coming at you real soon.
Good night, everyone.